Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, baby boy?
Back at it, man.
Back at it. Mhm.
Hold on, let me fix the volume right quick. Had to wear the NWA shirt. You know, I'm the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see you representing the tree.
That's right. We know how we do it, man. But welcome to Off the Cuff Radio, King Eric the Media Assassin. Rest in peace, boss.
Yeah,
Another fallen soldier, man.
yeah, that's crazy.
But
I,
yeah,
I
man.
was actually did some stuff with her. I was out in Detroit doing something with DJ Butter, and had a chance to meet her. She's incredible, incredible spirit, man. She will be highly missed, man. She was one of the coolest female MCs ever.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Another big loss for the culture, man. But you know, we're gonna keep her name and her spirit in vain for real.
So,
But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming, man. Like since last year, since you rocked with us and everything. And first of all, happy birthday to you. You know,
no, I appreciate that, man. Another cycle around the sun, another rotation, And all I can say is God is good, and I'm feeling good like I should.
absolutely, man. We taking those birthdays and cherishing them every day, man. So definitely, man. Welcome back aboard, man. You got a new album out right now, the Dr. Kokanstine Project. Triple disc, man. What was the mindset you carried on and carrying that, man?
Well, we put out albums left and right, but on this particular one, I wanted the audience to have more of an adventure and musical experience when they hear this project. I wanted to reintroduce those elements. They kind of catapulted us in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s and early 2000s. And it was originally going to be a double album, but I said, nah, I got so many songs, I got to vote. I said, man, I really want to get the fans a bang, a shebang for their bread, but make sure they having a musical experience. And we put the project together called The Funkin' Adventures of Dr. Kokanstine 3 album trilogy. And it's actually almost four albums. So we kind of squeezed it down into three because we don't like to, we want the fans to really go on this journey with me, and I wanted to do something real special for all the fans to be rocking with me for over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I was able to raise three generations on this good music, and the project actually came out on my C day because I wanted to give my own self a birthday present, and we put it out there, and it's a collection of um, soul and funk music, R&B, hardcore gangster shit, of course the G-funk shit, the P-funk elements, and actually it's introduced with classical and rock and roll at the same time, just as well as blues and disco. So they was like, man, why you do a project like that? Because I always pride myself on just being different. And we were putting the clips out there because we wanted to take our time. We wanted the people to really absorb, prior to the record coming out yesterday, March 10th, what was going on, with the live music and different other things. So I've kind of been teasing, as you've been seeing the video clips out there for months and months and months now. And originally the project was going to come out 3 years ago because the first single actually out that was a cut called Monkey Wasn't Funky. But because of the COVID virus about to come, I had to push things back, and I'm kind of glad, it was pushed back because this particular record of Substances, I think it's the right season for, it to be put out there, man. It's an incredible project, musical composition. All the producers did their thing on there. All the artists from Ice Cube to my daughter to Corrupt to Jay Worthy, producers, cats like Rhythm D, Cuddy Dre, Ant Banks. And I don't want to really name drop too much because I want y'all to go to my site and be, just basically see, who really helped me put the magic down on this particular project called The Funkin' Adventures of Dr. Kokanstine.
Woo!
Yeah.
Man, that's a whole lot of heat right there,
And
bro.
shout out to my guy. It gave me a chance to get back to my boy, Gomac, who I started out with early in the game in the late 80s. And a cut that he has on there is called The Gospel of Kokane. So
Mm.
it's really also testimonial because, you know, being in this game is very brutal. Some people are not here. You know, unfortunately, some people are passing. Shout out to Boss that just passed. And it's a trip, man. I was, you know, I can't even name on my hand all the legendary status that these people had that are simply not here no more. So it's really the spirit of Dr. Kokanstine that those frequencies and vibrations and tones through those music is really going to make you think, is really going to make you get up, is really going to give you the type of energy that you need, whether you're working out, whether you're going to your job in the morning. I got a little something for everybody. And I think you're really going to enjoy this project if you ain't heard about it.
Yeah, man. And you know what? We live at a time where everybody consumes music in a different way. Like they don't really consume full albums no more. Like you must have a real good belief system within your base to deliver it in that form of faction. And as long as you get, and it goes to show too, as long as you got that supporting system, that supporting cast, that core
Right.
300, you ain't gotta pretty much consume to the industry standards of delivering music.
Yeah, well, you know what? Some people picked up on it, but a lot of people didn't pick up on what Prince was talking about with the Napster situation. He already foreseen and had a crystal ball to see where the game was going. Now, the coldest thing about it is the trip because at the same time, people had to subsidize, big corporations was buying out small companies and different other things, you know, that had to, you know, small businesses that are not around to ever be around. What they
Right.
did, they put out a propaganda because propaganda is a big selling point for reverse psychology. They've been going all the way back to World War I, World War II, all that, you know. So propaganda was put out, and they put out a thing to say, "Man, this is worse. We lost the music industry," and all the while they made it to where, you know, and this was intentionally, they made it to where you have to go to their services and be under their conditions and terms, and people got accustomed to that when they were getting plaques, Spotify, people thought they were doing something real big, but all the while you was getting 0.005 or whatever it is on the dollar. So therefore, suppose this generation of corporate greed versus the generation of corporate greed back when Michael Jackson was only getting dollar something or whatever, they put the shit on steroids. So when they put out this propaganda list, brother, it made it seem like we lost all this money, but all the while they were brokering different other situations on these streaming platforms. So therefore, people might have been duping their money, but then they made so much bread off the advertisement and different other services that people thought, hey, man, why is this industry doing bad? Artists are doing bad because this is the best, biggest money, massive money corporate people ever made in the history of the music business through the services of the streaming platforms. So therefore, they figured out a way of doubling down and treat the artist less than a slave to be able to control this stuff. Because if you notice, if anytime you funnel your stuff to a distribution company or whatever it is, and you try to post your stuff on Facebook and all that shit, they're always going to say copyright infringements like a to a third party, and you legitimately do not own your own masters when you use their funnel. But at the same time, you know, when I started my thing, I had to use their funnel because it's kind of like winging yourself off dope. Now I do use their streaming platforms. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to bash all the streaming companies and here to bash the corporate. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving you an assessment. But over the years, I was building up a metadatabase through my website for like 16 years when motherfuckers was laughing at me because they had platinum or Spotify. Ain't no such thing. We come from the era of the last of the platinum. It's all streaming. They were laughing at me, but we knew in the optimistic way, brother, the way the game was going because we picked up on what Prince said. And it's just that with my whole team, we said one day we're going to get to the right season to where we built up this meta database of fans and different other things like that to where we could cut out the middleman and do the power of direct marketing. Direct marketing is the best thing. That means if I put out a product, it's cool to put out shit on the streaming companies, but how I do it, and it might not work for y'all, but I'm just giving you some game from what my experience is. What I do is just put out singles. So when I put out the singles, it goes where it goes, but it draws in the attention to my www.buddyboymusic.com site. So that way people can make an account and make a subscription. And what it does, even if everything happens through increments, you got to realize all pennies add up to $1. You just got to stay consistent in the rhythm. And me and my family, because my company is ran by me and my family, said, man, we ain't going for this shit. We ain't going for that. So there was times I put out products that I did not break even because we believe in one concept. We'll get to the point to where we can take our autonomy and build up a substantial amount of people worldwide and have direct marketing, period. So now here we are 16 years later, the tables done turned, and I'm not going to tell you how many people, but it's so many people and emails that we done gathered up to where when we put out our news feed and we put out a product, you know what I'm saying? I'm good for 25, 30,000 record sales. That's because I didn't take the fast dime of the streaming company serious. I took the slow nickel. So that way, that slow nickel can start getting people to my website. So what makes our situations different is that, yeah, you may hear the singles because a lot of people inquire, man, well, why I can't hear it on the streaming? Because you can't hear it on the streaming. Because when I put my music out on streaming different things, YouTube might trip. You see, all these other people just taking numbers. I said, nah, I don't want to do none of that. So that way you can go directly to my site and ain't no middleman. And when you get this full-length album, full-length experience, it's more on the intimate level now. See, when you put your shit everywhere on these streaming platforms, you give a lot of your goodies away. And it's not really intimate because people get accustomed to getting free music. And music shouldn't be free. You know what I'm saying? Only on some things, because I got so much music, I throw a lot of shit out there just to bang in your chunk for hot leaks. But we got to get back to the place to where we could take our autonomy with the people and the independent artists around the world that are able to actually not just put out music, but actually benefit from it, from the fruits that they labor for, man. Because we spend a lot of your hustle money doing this shit and don't get shit back. Nah, we were blessed enough to be in position and had the mindset 16 years ago that, hey, when once we get to this point, we're not only just going to prosper, well, we were going to do it in the midst of famine in the industry. Yeah. So it's kind of like the Bible, like Jacob. You know what I'm saying? He went to, the Egypt thing. His brothers was, but still, because they saved up and the Pharaoh listened to that young man that he took out of jail was really the chosen one. And all the surrounding cities had to come to Egypt to get their grains. You see what I'm saying? So that's what position I'm in. And it's good because, that articulates and educate, young upcoming artists out there that really want to make a business out of their music, but just don't have the way because they're blinded by so much by the streaming digital fuckery, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So this way, people get a chance to have more of an intimate moment. And to tell you the truth, if I was to put out full albums with all the cats that donated their time, wherever we did some exchange on business, from your Qs to your Corrupts to even my daughter to your Sebos, at least this way, they get a chance to actually see checks once we get to that point of selling so many records. When you do that on the the streaming companies, man, that shit is like you don't really see nothing. So I want to make sure I be able to see something in the artists that I'm working with, able to see something out of it, so we can get back the culture that for a second was controlled by corporate greed. We're not doing that no more. This is the rise of the independents. If you see all kind of labels from Universal to Interscope, they laying off people. You know why they laying off people? Because people are wising up. So I encourage everybody to wise up and rise up at the same time. And that's what makes our company different. We're independent label moving like a major, and we're out there giving game to the upcoming youngsters that really are talented but shadowed by the gossip orientated, purposely put, shit out there to confuse people. No, we're gonna take the blinders off your head. And not everybody gonna listen to it. It's a crock of shit. But for those that are listening to it, I'm just simply following my assignment and getting up the ladder and coming back down the ladder and trying to bring some people up to uplift themselves and their independence in this here brutal game.
That's some gospel right there, man. Anybody that's listening to the show, y'all better take notes, because that man right there just gave y'all a whole blueprint.
Yeah. So
Whole blueprint for free.
if the record costs anywhere, it costs, the pre-orders are cheaper. If the record costs 120, okay. If it costs 120, I'm getting 99.1% of that. All revenue, all money in. So that way, versus selling a billion streams versus selling 10,000 times 120, which my predictions is good for 50,000. Do the math on that.
Mm, mm.
See what I'm saying? But it
They
wasn't an
complain.
overnight thing. Don't think you could just get up and do. No, it's like with anything. You frame your first dollar in your business, and you got two people around the corner. But inside your mind, you see them lined up around the corner. You got to see it before it happens. Because if we didn't see it before it happened, especially when, you know, you got all kind of distractions out there. Nah, we just kept 10 toes down and laser beam focused and huddled up in this circle in the eye of storm and said, we are going to do exactly what we're going to do, because primarily I do the things what I do first and foremost for my family. And then secondly, I've raised so many other brothers and sisters out there off my music. And I know what it's like to get duped. I know what it's like to be up one day and then all of a sudden, when the lights turn on, people scatter like roaches. But
Mm.
all that is good for you, and that part of the process is because it helps build character. It's not so much the victory when you understand something on how to have big businesses. That's not the real victory. The victory will always be in the process, because that process helps you understand and bump into something innovative or bump into something. And a lot of people say, man, well, I don't know what to do when we figure it out. Well, like grandma would tell me, baby, you'll know what to do when you get there. You just got to keep going.
Hey, man, that's some true gospel right there from the Cokadelic
The
right there.
gospel
Y'all better
of cocaine.
But you gotta let them know, man, that the independent wave isn't for the weak-hearted, though, because you gotta really establish your base. You gotta be like on that real campaign trail.
Yeah,
Like people be thinking, oh, I could just go ahead and just do the independent thing, when in reality they don't really have the base like that. So you gotta let them know it takes a whole lot of grit, grind, and dedication to building that solid that core 300.
right. Well, first of all, your attitude determines your altitude. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have the right attitude. I don't care if you got 100,000 in your pocket or if you got $1 in your pocket. People gravitate to people that don't have their hands out. You know what I mean? Because especially when it comes to OGs, you ain't no different than me. Nobody gave me shit. That shit came out of my family pocket. So why would I just give you an easy pass to handle you when the whole thing is to help you? You have to learn. All sperm cells don't get to the egg. So if you're the sperm cell that get to the egg, that means you're supposed to birth some new ideas. You know what I'm saying? And that's for people to understand. One thing you have to do in this game that's very imperative, you have to learn to fall in love with patience. Most people
Mm.
ain't patient because this is a McDonald's. Give me, give me, give me, give me. I want to see if you fast. Slow down a little bit. Read a couple tutorials on how to handle the business of music. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're interested. And at the same time, you got to go back to number one rule. When you get out of high school, you understand me? You don't go to college to be a professional in 1 year. It takes a process. That means you got to set goals. And a lot of people are not setting goals. You know what I mean? Because that means that game ain't for you. And if you're really serious at something, well, it's good to be put in adversity sometimes. It's good to be put in that backbiting situation sometimes because that'll let you know the game God is like saying, are you really ready for this year? You know, and not everybody gonna make it. Now everybody's fascinated about being this and this and looking up at this person and
Right.
looking at the clean sinks that they're washing their hands out of. But it was a favorite sitcom of mine that was called Dirty Jobs. Nobody ain't talk about it. It take a lot of dirty jobs for people to see that clean sink and wash their hands out of that exquisite faucet. But it takes dirty. It takes the dirt, smut is put on you. You know what I mean? But that's all good for you. You know what I mean? Because you gotta have full metal jacket in this game because it's worse than the dope game. You understand me? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you built for this shit, time gonna reveal. Period.
Dope, man. That's we getting some gems tonight, y'all. And I want to shoot this question here that my man shoot this to me, man. It was like, and learning the independency, how much of that game that you learned from Eazy E and you took that forward to building your brand?
Well, we all learned it. We've been trying, us as a culture, from cats like Sam Cooke, from cats like Curtis Mayfield, who had Curtom Records, from cats like Isley Brothers, from cats like Otis Reddings. Um, the list go on. And when you go into the 80s, you know, all kind of indie people. One of the biggest ones was Solar Records. You know, Dick Griffey had all those slew of people over there from Shalimar to just a brilliant musician. So we learned our independent game, and a lot of times the status quo or corporate didn't want niggas to wake up and have their own shit. That's why we don't really have a distribution. That's as a culture. Everything consolidated to one thing. But then this internet generation has pros and cons. It has more cons in the context that you fall in to the distractions and the algorithms, and you're not paying attention to what is natural. You're paying attention to mostly AI. You know, still, sometimes I walk on the grass barefooted and talk to the tree. But this type of mentality with the AI, using that as as to explain to you. It's like you got to go back to nature, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do things that's going to put you in position to reap the benefits for the fruits that you labor for. You know, learning from what Eric did, Eazy E did. That was our West Coast Russell Simmons. And the brother is starting to get the credit he deserved, rightfully so. People starting to rise up for E.
Right.
You know, he was incredible. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that put up his hustle money. Now imagine if Eric did put up his hustle money. You know what I'm saying? None of this would be possible as far as what we represent from the Rufus tree. But go back. You got to look at Too Short. You got to look at E40. You know, St. Charles and different other things like that. They're really putting that independent game that was really making that Gouda. So we've been doing it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that the con situation of it is that they pushed everything around like cattle. It's sad, man. I used to go, the way I think about it, I used to love going to warehouse music and shit. Shout out to Violet Brown. And what nothing like going to the radio station, grabbing something tangible, physical
Right.
that you grab. But nowadays, not nowadays, not one time, the way they put it, you're not able to sign a digital copy. There's nowhere on this planet, on planet Mars, where you'll ever be able to sign an autograph copy on something that is tangible versus the digital. You can't sign an autograph on the digital. So it became AI, it became thin, not analog. But the good Lord don't lie, man. When he come back and have his people come back for the right reason and the right season, you know what I'm saying? That's what the Dr. Kokanstine represent. It is recorded analog. Some of the stuff we dropped on 2-inch tape, bounced down to half tape. So those tones and frequencies that's coming out, it hits a certain thing in your mind where it pulls you back in to that era of substance, because that era of substance was so eloquent to the people of the ghetto that it made life better when we heard music that had a balance in it. We could hear a Marvin Gaye record, what's going on, and we could turn around and hear, I used to go out to party, that type of shit. So we wanted to go back to the future and go back to the past and bring them back to the future. And that's what we did with this Dr. Kokanstine. It's the 70s and 80s nostalgia. It's really going to pull you in. It's really going to incorporate again black music, R&B music. And we kind of got away from that with the different genres. And I don't dare knock anybody's hustle, what these kids do. Hell, my grandma used to say, turn that loud out, hip hop out, because they wanted to hear some jazz all the time. But then we find ourselves being like them. And we have to go back to that and raise our voice to perpetuate that balance again in music, because show me where the music is right now, I'll show you where the ghetto is. And we want to go ahead and use one of the most powerful sources in the world is music, because it can help kill, build, or destroy. And we're not telling nobody to say the Lung Foundation, but goddamn, wake up and man and talk about it, because not everybody is going around pushing that line and having things, you know what I mean? It's more worse on our culture, not just with blacks, just all kind of ethnicities. And we need to take our music back to put a balance back in it. And that's where I stand. I feel like I'm the Messiah in likeness to the Messiah, not the Messiah. I'm the Messiah from the West Coast, because all I'm here to say is that Kokane is bringing the balance back to music.
And that's what's dope, man, because especially the song Hey You, where you talked about the homelessness crisis that's going on in America, man. Like, what did you see to make you want to tackle a deep topic like that?
Well, just driving down the street and then everywhere. 20 years ago, you seen some, homeless people out on the curbs here, but that shit running rampant, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse, and we spending so much money giving people, paying people colleges overseas, billions of dollars of wars, billions of dollars to Israel and other parts or whatever it is, and we're not even focused on our own backyard. That's hypocrisy. So when I go down the street, and as an artist, I come from the era where I was inspired by, your Gil Scott Herons and, like I say, your Marvin Gaye's, and because they really talked about it. You know what I mean? And it helped people. So when I put that Hey You together, I wanted to take the elements or just be influenced by the elements of Pink Floyd. Yeah, I'm a rock and roller too, man. And we kind of twisted it up our own way. My boy Cuddy Dre twisted that shit up, and it came out right. And the song is talking about homelessness. It's talking about after the COVID virus, small businesses lost all kind of stuff. So now you're not just, it's from a mental point of view, a drug, or even veteran point of view. You got whole families out in the streets now. And then we still sitting here blind, looking at our government, looking at legislation and everything. Like, y'all can't do shit about it. We can put chemtrails over here all day and y'all can't do shit about it. No, you can. Each one teach one, reach one is a powerful element. You know what I mean? So that type of song, it fit more than the OJ glove to inspire people, because at the end of the day, a lot of people say I ain't a role model, and that's cool. And I used to say I ain't a role model. But on all actuality, you really are. And it's what you choose to do with your platform, whether you flipping burgers, whether you hustle, whether you do anything, to really use that shit as a footstool and a catalyst to really reach a wider audience. Because if people can relate to Kokane, because they know I've been on all facets of different other genres, from G-Funk to gangster rap to funk, and I got their attention, what you think is going to happen if when a song like Hey You is coming out and they're going around looking everywhere? See, they're going to listen to it because they can relate to the person that's saying it. And then they can look around the block and see everything was going on. And this shit has really gotten out of hand, from Chicago to Detroit to Oakland to out here in Capitol Hill to LA to Texas. Wherever you go, man, this shit is getting out of hand. And we the people in the streets got to get together and be like, hey, we got to keep raising our voice to this issue. So Hey You is something that it's not about just making money off a record. It's about delivering a message that is priceless. Just to encourage another artist to go ahead and raise that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Prince was trying to articulate Michael Jackson. Yeah, they clipped him, but it was too late because one was already inspired. And if they get clipped, one was already inspired. And before you look up, the 1%ers can't do shit about it. So that's what the Hey You is. It's talking about it.
Facts. And another project that you did too, cause I think we had you on with Touch last year.
Right. Hold on right quick. I gotta set this little thing out real
Oh,
quick.
good.
Sorry about that, buddy. What'd you say?
We all good. Yeah, man. We had you on last year with Hutch, and y'all had that project last year. People don't understand, man. Hutch is another pioneer that sometimes gets overlooked by the culture, man, just by the contributions that he brought to the G-Funk sound. And that project you did was incredible with him.
Right. Um, that's what I started off with. We come from a musical background, from my pops, Uncle Willie Hutch, Uncle Richard. We come from that element. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, we come from that element, and you know, I'm very proud of being one of the architects of G Funk, along with Co 187, Above the Law, the late great KMG, the late great Laylaw. Rest in peace. And we had to put that project out there called AOTF, the Architects of G Funk. Shout out to my cousin Co 187. It did pretty good, did what it was supposed to, and we we now are happy, as something that what we created years ago and people were influenced, that to see where G Funk is just incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like the elements, we didn't think about it, because the very first time you ever heard the word G Funk is when Tupac said it on Above the Law, Black Mafia Life, the album that we did. And he was like, "What's that style of music y'all do?" He said, "We call it G Funk." So Tupac turned around and called it what you want and said, "I'm from the G Funk, but you can call it what you want." We had no idea the impact that G Funk would have and the influence years later. Mm-mm-mm. Incredible.
Man, he was a trendsetter and he ain't even know it, man. That's how ahead of the time it looked like Pop really was, you know?
Yeah, Yeah, well, you know, pop come from that soil where it's royal. You feel me? That's where you come from. So, you know, everybody has their you know their testimony and road, and it's just amazing at a time when I came in that I was able to meet so many great artists from Tupac, DJ Train, rest in peace, from Nate Dogg, to Mac Dre, to Nip, to King Lou, Jay Dilla, just the list. So I can't even name on on both of my hands with some of the great artists that I was able to influence, and they was influenced by me. You know what I mean? So with Eazy E being gone, L.A. Dre, man, the list is crazy. And now rest in peace, Boss, because I did something with Boss Me and DJ King Assassin in Detroit, and
Mm-hmm.
she used to be around us all the time with Eazy E at our camp. Boss was, yep, and she will be missed. And that's the beauty about being an elder now, is that I'm able to share in some of these experiences that people really don't know because of the gaps that are missing. You feel what I'm saying? That's what makes it good. And I can't speak for anybody else. There's some OGs that's really giving that good game and jewel to the cats that, from a Michael Jordan perspective, we want to raise your Kobe Bryant's up. We want to give them the baton down right. You feel me? And that let everybody know the staying power. It's not how old you are when it comes to music. It's how you feel inside about your journey and everything and evolving. You know what I'm saying? So you look at cats like George Clinton, and I mixed it. That's pops, my funk pops. I done did so much shit with him. I remember walking in the room and George Clinton said, "Man, when did I do that?" I said, that's coat. He looked at me like, okay. You know what I mean? So sharing these stories inspire people. You know what I mean? Because that's how we was inspired. We used to go back to those records and look on the back of the records, and it wasn't nothing like looking like who did
Yeah.
this, who produced this, who did this. But for the internet situation, we had got out of that, and of course, corporate did what they did by putting a dent and squeezing the pockets, not just from A-list artists, from big artists everywhere. But, time to rise up, and a lot of cats are rising up. So I big ups to anybody that is rising up and creating their own space so they can reap the benefits not only for themselves, but also for their families.
Dope. That's a lot of words of wisdom that we getting dropped right here tonight,
Yeah,
man. Hold on. Somebody had a question down here. They said, did you do any records with Cypress Hill?
absolutely. They're my boys. Shout out to Cypress Hill. We did like 3, 4 joints over the years. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I was able to mix it up. I seen them come in the game. Ain't too many people I ain't touched or seen in the game because I come from the cloth. I come from the soil. Very proud of that rufus tree. Y'all see what it created eons later. But I was, I was at the gate, so to speak. And um, years later, to see artists like Kendrick Lamar and Top Dog do their things, or just basically independent, lets me know, hey, not only I learned from the Rufus Tree, Eazy E, all those cats over there, but so many others. Remember, we taught people how to style, how to wear their hats. You know what I'm saying? That's what NWA represented. You know what I'm saying? Um, how to keep it gangster, how to have your apparel. Before in the '70s, they was wearing ripped jeans and looking like Rick James and shit when they come on stage. Niggas having tight ass tough skin, but not only from a point of view of just teaching people that you can come from a suppression, that you don't have to stay there in the ghetto. Easy E taught us that, and he was like our West Coast Russell Simmons without the weird shit. He was he taught us. And the whole team taught us because we identified with that. with the Levi's, with the Cortezes, you know what I'm saying, with the jumpsuits, you know, with the gangster coats, with all that, you know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing because we go to New York, you go to Texas, you go to anywhere in the United States, even over the world, and you be like, damn, look at the clothes they wear. Look how they having this exposed. Look at all that.
Influence,
That's because of Ruthless Records.
the influence. And see, y'all was such trailblazers. Like what people didn't know, because I think you posted this a while back. Like y'all was, I think Eazy was the first to have the first hip hop $1 million video with I think it was Neighborhood Sniper.
Yeah, and they wasn't doing that back then. No rappers. You see Jay-Z, you see Rick Walton. They had real helicopters in downtown LA, dudes walking down the sides of buildings. That was unheard of. And as much as people like him or love him or not, Jerry Heller, he was an important part to the Ruthless Tree because he was one of the biggest booking agents it was in Canada in the 70s with Led Zeppelin and all those cats. You understand what I'm saying? And it was that Jewish line that really exploded it to the masses. So, love him or not, he's a very important part to this ruthless scheme. It came Death Row, and the rest is history. So, you know, you gotta call out the bullet points so people would understand the full scope, not just the partial scope of really what would happen. And I'm more so like a teacher nowadays, just to really tell those people documented facts. These are some of the things you may not know. So that way it can open up your mind of inspiration and you can identify with some of the things you went through. Like I said, man, this industry is worse than the dope game, bro. And if I could share anything without sharing everything, because some things I'm pleading the fifth on. I ain't one of them niggas that just talk on the microphone and spill all the beans and shit like that. And I don't do that. But some of the things I do, they go back to the streets. The real street cats are going to identify it. And some of them that's taking this business and music serious, they're going to understand because of who it's coming from.
Big facts, man. Because you know what people don't understand is the music is the easiest part of the journey. Believe it or
Right,
not, making the music, it's dealing with these weirdos, dealing with the business aspect. That's where you see people going to the drugs, going to the liquor,
yeah,
hitting the pipe,
right,
all that stuff.
right. But yeah, we good. You know, we can sit on the phone and elaborate. And you know, this battery don't last for too long. You understand? Some of bitch, this battery in this apple already gone. I'm holding my phone with the thing, but let's get to it. Um, the project is out.
So,
In order to get the project, you got to go directly to my site exclusively at www.buddyboymusic.com. It's a 3 album trilogy. I'm gonna put the snippets up in the pew. Share it around with your good friends. And I tell everybody, man, don't buy anything you don't listen to first. I want you to hear the snippets and then decide if you really want to make that part of your music arsenal, which I would, man, because it's a doozy. You know, the Dr. Kokanstine is going to hit the streets hard, and that's what I do. I sell music to the streets. I never was an industry cat, even though I was in the industry. And I'm happy about still doing the same two-step with my hustle and movement to feed the streets, because at the end of the day, the streets is the one that made this game, not the other way around. So as long as I got contact and direct marketing, you know what I'm saying? Once again, before you actually purchase the product or the cocaine collection, accessory, merch, make sure you make an account for my subscription so we can share this intimate moment with each other. That's why I do it. It's more on an intimate level to where you have hands on, you know what I'm saying, and come directly to me and I'm directly talking to you. Ain't nothing like it, because that get a chance for the people to not only be fans but actually feel like they family and a part of your journey. So that's out right now. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to let the cat out the bag. And also we'll be doing a lot of shows. I just did one. Shout out to my daughter at the Gill Theater. Shout out to the beautiful Sacramento at the Gill Theater. So we still doing our like daddy like daughter thing, but she has a single out right now called Karma Could Be. How you spell her name is ANISAHLONG, and that's Karma Could Be. And man, we feeling good like we should. We blessing the streets right. Y'all gonna love this project. You can also get it digital. Yeah, we got Buddy Boy Digital. I didn't tell you that. Huh? Yeah, we got Buddy Boy Digital. So you can go ahead and get it on digital if your coins ain't all the way up proper, or you can just get it on Poor Pay. And just, we got a lot of stuff on there, good music that it might get lost in the shuffle through any other sources, but not at my site. Come to my site at www.budE as in Eric, BOY, music.com. We got grade A service. The site is awesome, built by my son. Shout out to the Black Vampire. And come join the family, man. We consider all our family, our fans out there, family. You know what I mean? And a community of family that just like good music. You feel me?
Sir. Yes, sir, man. It's always a pleasure to build with you, man. And thank you for putting me a part of the family. And we've been riding this out for about a good 6 years. And the thing is just getting started, man. The journey is here.
Yes, sir, man. And shout out to everybody. I recognize some names on here from Sadie Nash to all my good peoples that's basically on the line. I got at least 5 more minutes, and if anybody want to ask any questions, you know, I'm an open book. They call me the encyclopedia of the game, besides the most featured artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no funny style shit. I believe in greeting my people with "How you doing?" Top of the tippy. I still got those gangster etiquette and mannerisms. So if anybody want to say anything, you know, holler
Thing.
at me real quick. And I appreciate you, Black man. I
No
seen you been
doubt.
standing out there being an unsung hero. The game needs you, not just to myself and Brand. You've been selfless doing that thing for others, and we need people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we teach others that are simply stuck in that low vibration stage. We need to raise their vibration up, and if we can do anything, is what we're doing right here: a conversation, not an interview.
Appreciate it, man. All all the unsung heroes getting their flowers, brother. And it means a lot, man.
Yeah, man. And that's what it's all about, man.
If
We
somebody,
got your autonomy, independence, you know,
if
all
somebody
love,
asks you, if
patience.
somebody, if somebody asks you, did you ever get a chance to work with your pops?
No, that's one thing I wish. He was great, man. You know, I held his information down away from the public for a long time. But Jerry Buddy Long Senior, and I'm Junior, he was great, man. Some of the greatest records you ever heard in your life will ever be at Motown. You know, he was a big gigantic puzzle piece to that. When working with you, Four Tops and just Smokey Robinsons and your Norman Whitfields and your different things. I mean, think about it, man. When you hear Just My Imagination, all that, my dad wrote that string progression, just as orchestrating the direction. Even Otis Redding was talking about it that I shared, man, the great Jerry Long. Just incredible. You know what I mean? And I'm glad my my children get to know they really come from music royalty. Cherish that legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a blessing to see my daughter, you know, knowing where she comes from, knowing her pops. Now she can take the baton and continue this legacy. You feel me?
If somebody else said, was it hard gaining ownership of all your music?
Well, it wasn't that hard because prior to the digital game, they didn't make no records for deals for digital. So whatever contract tracks that you was on made a lot of shit exempt. A lot of people didn't know that. And I took my time. A lot of people's coming at me, man, will you sell your publishing? Will you do this or do that? I said, nope. No. Because I know I can't take it with me. I got to leave that for my family. You know what I'm saying? So it took a minute, but I got a cold ass team, man. Man, my team, my family is ran actually by my family. My company is ran, of course, with myself and outsourcing with other cats that's my family. You know what I mean? But primarily, the Mecca Buddy Boy Entertainment is the Long family. So we run it. You got kids on board. You got kids doing this. They're young adults now. You got the queen doing this and the princess doing that. And it's just a blessing, man, because people say, what's your stand power? Shit, man. I suggest, man, you go get you your family on point, create a good family, plant the seeds, because life will shock your ass if you're not grounded with your family.
Facts. Facts, man. Because because you know how society is, man. They trying to preach the whole separatism philosophy where you don't need nobody, you don't need no man, don't need no woman. Man, look, your ass go down from life, you gonna be needing somebody.
Yeah, in a real way. So that's what helped me have my staying power and get up every day and feel good like I should, knowing that, hey, I'm a walking testimony and I'm an example, not a sample. See, we need examples, not a sample. We need people to tell the real, not a sample. You know what I mean? Not hide behind something. And I've been very adamant about my pros and cons in life. That's part of the music industry, part of my journey, part of my family's journey, legacy. You know, keeping it real, it makes people uncomfortable. But keeping it real is what real motherfuckers appreciate, period. And all I can say is that I'm 10 toes down, keeping it sharp and real to the concrete and being hella regular at it. So people know we all the same. You feel what I'm saying? We bleed the same and we straight. And that's my get down. That's how cocaine get down. Period. I don't need 100 million bodyguards because the love that I perpetuate out there, you know, you create your aura. You feel me? Now, if I need to mask or send a kite, that's something different. But majority of my time, you know, I walk in love. I don't judge. I ain't here to say the niggas say the Lung Foundation. I'm here to tell you, hey, maybe you might be inspired by this. So that way you be like, damn, man, nigga, I just lost someone. I just lost my mom or my homie got killed. And boo, boo, boo. Like, do you know how many songs help heal when I put out that 1994 off the Punk Upon the Rhyme release? And plus, by the way, we also got the 30-year anniversary of Funk Upon the Rhyme on the list, but a particular song is called No Pain, No Gain. They played that shit at the G homie funeral, my brother Eazy E. But that song was played so many times. So many homies from jail got out. So many homies that have run up into me and like, I don't care what it is. He said, my nigga, that song do something to me at a time where I was in a dark place. You know what I mean? So I know the universe or God was able to use me and put my pain on paper to really, really resonate with the ghetto, resonate with the street. Because, you know, you're going through pain and
Think you sound, hey Uncle, I think you sound a little breaking up. Hold on
your
one second.
eyes are open up a little bit more, grow stronger. Sorry about that. I told you the bars is going down, but
So
hey, we on the
good.
But yeah, that's what it is, man. You know, I tell everybody, man, put your pain on paper. Stop acting like you ain't went through it. You know what I mean? There's a needle in a haystack with niggas that didn't go through it. But even the niggas that claim they didn't go through it, went through it, because you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I put into the music, and that's what era I come from. And I see, shout out to my youngins. They putting that pain on paper. They telling the female, bitch, get your ass out the shot because I got to talk to my peoples now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That no pain, no gain, man. That was a heavy record, man. Like that record up there. Forget all that missing you with Dancing Machine. We ain't talk about that. We talk about that record there. We talk about Want You Till I Join You. We talking about Still Ballin'. There's a lot of, heavy, hard hitting
Yeah.
records, tribute.
A lot of people just mention, do you know Jesus? Like, you know,
Mm.
people got to know whether, religious or not, you
Off
know, I'm
road.
spiritual. You know what I mean? I don't care who you is. God is looking for gangsters. God is looking for people that been out in the dirt, had to get it from the ashes, because they can put their life on the line for something that is a suppression. But it's amazing how the man upstairs turn you around and put you on the road to turn that shit around and then go back down that ladder and go help your folks. That's what the beauty of it is. It's like, I come from that era to where we were taught well by our G's, my grandparents, and that still applies to this day. You know what I mean?
Big facts, man. But yeah, man, I know you gotta probably wrap it up, man, because your phone gotta look out for that battery, because you know you got moves to make.
Yeah, man, I couldn't keep this phone. That's a good thing. You know, people wishing me my CD shit, and I'm grateful to that. You know what I'm saying? I see my people's online, Skate, my nephew, Money Bag,
Yes, sir.
uh,
Big time.
Soldier, I see you out there. You know what I mean? But all we here to do is just do our assignment. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just following my assignment. Like my boy Fat Rat. Shout out to my boy Fat Rat. Shout out to my guy from Customs too. All we doing is following our assignment. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, man, you the most featured artist for a reason, man, because it shows the gratitude and the respect and humbleness that you carry out, man, for everybody that want to track from you. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you gotta teach people like we were taught. We were taught by the best. So what would I look like? Like just just being self-loathing. That ain't me, man. I don't knock nobody. What you do is what you do. As far as me and up in here with my camp and the people that God put in my life and vice versa, we gonna do this right because we on the same slave ship, the same 4-5. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get it right, and we gonna get this thing right. It's time to evolve. It's time to clean up the blocks that we destroyed. It's time to be the example, not just a sample or a statistic. We don't want to do that no more. So if anything you can get out of Kokane, besides the history lesson, is motivation on how to move through your highs and lows. And you're going to relate to that because everything I say I did, I am who the fuck I am, period. That's it. That's what it is, period. So we continue this music, and music helps you look, and the music positivity helps you look younger. Your skin be glowing, and that lets you know, man, a lot of this shit is a mental thing, bro. There's too many distractions out there to try to throw y'all off your swivel. You just got to be laser beam focused and look at all the sucker shit from your peripheral, and you're going to be straight. You see what I'm saying?
Salute Off the Cuff Radio. Thanks for this interview. No doubt, man. I got to give y'all the good stuff, man. We got to give y'all that game, that knowledge, that wisdom. And what better way is to get it from Dr. Kokanstine himself?
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that. So, like I said, everybody on the line, this is the most important thing. Spending this money economically, we have to learn from other people how they rotate their money now. So, it's very important when you spend your money, you're going to get an exchange of good music. You might be down, you might get spirits up, and that's what the magic is going to do for you. But it's very important to donate. I call it donations. You know what I mean? And show people from an independent point of view that Kokane really got a small army rocking behind this music because this is some of the music we've been missing for years. We don't want to do the gossip orientated, and we ain't here to kill 1,000 niggas on one 12-bar verse. Maybe you want to get up and just have a good time, or go skating with your family, or be at the little fancy joint, or or just hanging out with your folks playing dominoes. Man, we got to get back to that. You know, that was before the AI and internet. And this is what Dr. Kokanstine is. It's a footnote to bring you back in time, you know, especially in 2024 when so much shit's going on. People are scared to talk about it. We ain't, because we all know allegiance to anybody but God, family, and the people. So I say what the fuck I want to say. You see what I'm saying? And it's direct marketing. So each one teach one, reach one, man. We can make this shit happen and innovate and create a new industry, because technically right now there's no such thing as the music industry no more. It's archaic. It dissipated. It really did. So we got to create this shit from scratch, and we can do it. So it's very important that you donate. Go to my site at www.buddyboymusic.com. Subscribe to my shit so you can make an account, so we can always keep you current with the news feed of what's going on. And yeah, man, we hope to feel your musical liking, and we're gonna keep it funky, man. We're gonna keep it streets, but most importantly, we're gonna be motivation, man, to the real ones out there, how to stand on business.
Hey man, it was a pleasure, Bill. Yo, you know what's crazy? Zab Judah joined the line, man. Big salute.
Hey, that's my guy right there. What's up, Zeb? And we
Zab
learned
Judah.
with each other. Man, that's my boy right there, man. You know what I
That's
mean?
dope,
Good
man.
brother, good solid brother right there. Champ of all champs. You know, there's a lot of chumps out there, but he's a champ. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate your friendship, brother. I can't wait to see you again, man. You got to get a hold of that Dr. Kokanstine, brother. Make sure you drop your lines there. Been a long time, good brother. Much love to
No,
you and your family. I see y'all doing it.
go to show you right there, man. You never know who's listening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to everybody that joined Off the Cuff Radio tonight. We're gonna be definitely pushing that line for you,
And
bro.
the single that's out right now, besides Hey You, is a single called I Beg Your Pardon. Could you play that? Is it
I don't
possible?
know if Instagram, I don't know if Instagram gonna let me, cause you know it's
Yeah,
funny with the
Instagram
rules.
be on some shit, but it's called I Beg Your Pardon. That right there is, like I said, I will be releasing uh, singles to the streaming companies. I'm not going to totally bash them, but in order to get the full length album, the full experience of the 3 album trilogy by Dr. Kokanstine, Coca Loca, you got to go to my site. A more intimate thing going on right here. Yes, sir.
That's what it is, man. We definitely appreciate the bill. We on the campaign trail. We're gonna push this thing to quadruple plat.
Yeah. Let's show them, man. Like, let's do something different. I have a goal. I'm gonna sell 100,000 records with this project. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna do good, and it's going to be a cornerstone piece on getting back to the arts of music, along with other brilliant artists out there. It's a collective thing. That's what made up hip hop music, everything. It was a collection of great artists out there, and their voice needs to be heard and not muttered down by some bullshit. No, this is the reign of the substance and independence again. Let's do this together, y'all, because hey, y'all already know, man. One one small army ant can pick up more weight than its actual weight. But when they all get together, they can tear down a whole tree. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Oh
very
God.
important. We all army ants. Let's tear down this tree, man. Let's tear down this bark, man. Do what it do, man. That's what it is. It's your boy Kokane, Dr. Kokanstine.
Yes, sir. We up out of here, man. Yo, get that album out now, man. We gonna be pushing that line.
Let's
And we
do
ain't
it.
saying no bullshit gold sneakers either.
No, we ain't doing none of that. And you know, we gonna keep it funky, like Donald Trump, because Donald Trump smell. You notice you see them commercials. Man, Donald Trump stink. You know, we gonna keep it funky like that, but we ain't gonna keep it funky like the other shit it be on. You feel?
Yeah, man. We selling y'all good music, and that's all we gonna give y'all, man. So
That's it. Nothing but love, baby. It's nothing but love. For Koka.
no doubt.
Much love.